They promised you a seat at the World Cup final for $1,550. By the time the tournament began, that same seat cost $10,990. This isn't a rumor. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is what FIFA did to football fans in plain sight, in front of the entire world. The 2026 World Cup, hosted across the United States, Canada, and Mexico, was supposed to be the most accessible tournament in history. It became the most expensive. When the bid was submitted to host this tournament, organizers made a promise, a written, public promise. Things the cheapest standard final ticket would cost no more than $1,550. But by April 2026, that same ticket had hit $5,785. And then it tripled further. Who is responsible for this? One man, one organization, Gianni Infantino and FIFA. And here's the thing, nobody is saying loudly enough. FIFA didn't just raise the prices. They changed the rules, moved the goalposts, and left millions of fans completely locked out of the sport they love. Let's go back to the beginning. In September 2025, ticket sales opened. FIFA advertised group stage tickets from $60, which sounded reasonable. But even then, the most exclusive final seats were listed at $6,730. Then December came. Within just 3 months, the cheapest final ticket had already jumped to $4,185. The most expensive, $8,680. Fans erupted. Football supporter groups across Europe filed formal complaints. The backlash was global and it was loud. So what did FIFA do? They introduced a $60 supporter entry ticket covering all 104 matches. Sounds generous, doesn't it? There were only a few hundred of those seats available per game, for a tournament watched by billions. Ronan Evane, the executive director of Football Supporters Europe, said it best. He told the world that FIFA had given loyal fans a simple choice: pay up or lose out. And then came something even darker. FIFA had introduced dynamic pricing to the World Cup for the very first time. Ticket prices that change based on demand, like airline seats or hotel rooms. But this wasn't a hotel. This was the World Cup. And the people paying the price were the fans who built this sport. But here's where the story gets truly disturbing. Thousands of fans who had already purchased their tickets discovered that the stadium zones shown on the map when they bought had been quietly changed. Good seats became bad seats. Tickets near the pitch became spots behind the goal, far from the action. No warning, no refund offer, no explanation. The Attorneys General of New York and New Jersey formally subpoenaed FIFA. New Jersey's Attorney General called it a gauntlet of confusion, fake scarcity, and impossibly high prices, all at the expense of ordinary consumers. And then came the number that shocked everyone. 2 days before the tournament kicked off, FIFA had 180,000 unsold tickets. 180,000. For the biggest sporting event on the planet. Thousands of tickets had also vanished from FIFA's website days earlier, dropping from 74,000 available seats to under 30,000 overnight. No statement, no reason given. Fans suspected the tickets were quietly handed to sponsors or removed to manufacture the illusion of scarcity. So what happened in the end? In early June 2026, FIFA slashed prices across all 104 matches. They also released 70% of their block-booked hotel rooms back onto the market because demand had collapsed. Miguel Maduro, the former head of FIFA's own governance committee, put it in the clearest terms possible. He said, FIFA faces a fundamental conflict. As a regulator, it should protect football's ecosystem and ensure fans can access the game. But, as a commercial actor, it's choosing maximum income instead. Even the President of the United States weighed in. Donald Trump, when asked about the ticket prices, said he wouldn't pay them either. When the US President, the Attorneys General of 3 states, football supporter groups across Europe, and the man who once ran FIFA's own governance board are all saying the same thing, you have to ask yourself, has FIFA lost the plot entirely? There are 2 ways this ends. Either the legal pressure from New York, New Jersey, and the European Commission forces FIFA to fundamentally change how it sells tickets forever, or FIFA pays a fine, issues a non-apology, and does exactly the same thing at the 2030 World Cup. The real question isn't about ticket prices. It's about who football actually belongs to. Does it belong to the sponsors, the suits, and the executives in Zurich, or does it belong to the fans who've given their entire lives to this game? Tell me in the comments, do you think FIFA will ever truly be held accountable? Or is this just how football works now? Subscribe right now, because part 2 is coming, and we're going even deeper into the corruption, the legal battle, and what this means for the future of the World Cup. Because this story is far from over.